Oh, hello and welcome back to the Novice Lumberjack, where I've got my Wemars here. This is the new Wemars that I've just pretty recently got. I have installed the other Wemars piston and cylinder on here because it was already ported. So this is a 34 millimeter stroke, 45 millimeter bore, 45.2. I don't know, some people like to fuss about that. It's a 45 millimeter stroke or bore and a 34 millimeter stroke. So that puts us right at a little bit more than 54 cc's. It's advertised as 62 cc's. They ain't. We've been through that before. But I also, this is the first time I've done this, I installed a 372 XP carburetor, and it has the high flow air filter on that. More on that to come, but filming it was impossible because I had to fumble through it and figure out how to do it. And I have fired it up. It will fire up. I haven't tuned it. So here we go. We're going to put it in the wood, tune it up, and see what she's got. It might start. So the high jet is all the way turned in, all the way. So I tried to lean out the low jet because the low jet is responsible for about 10% of the high jet. To get a balance there, it's not really working, but it has, it's about 12,500 RPMs is all it's tuning to, and that's pretty bleak. It's got plenty of power, but it's getting too much fuel. It's got a timing advance on it and everything. Honestly, RPM wise, I didn't see much difference than it was in stock form. Stock form, this thing through this cut right here was pulling about 10,600 RPMs. And that's all it's doing here. Sometimes it's dipping into the 9,000 RPM range. So that sucks. It is a Chinese 372 carburetor. chute. And that high jet is all the way screwed in, all the way. So I can't lean it out to where it wants to be, even though it doesn't seem like it's running that fat, you know what I mean? Seems all right. I wonder if I used a different 372. I've heard tell of that some of the 372 carburetors were in fact governed, you know, so they had an extra passage of sorts. Yeah, we're good. So they had an extra passage of sorts, and at higher RPMs it would feed more fuel. I wonder if that's what's going on. Because the high jet was already turned all the way in. I touched it one time, you know, I mean, maybe a quarter turn out is all it was, maybe. And that was, you know, right out of the box. That's the way I got it, you know, from China. So let's do one cut over here in the square cant so that we can match it up, time it, and see if it actually got any faster. It definitely feels a lot stronger. You get me? I mean, like strength. It's just not able to reach up in there to the higher RPMs. I can't quite figure that, you know. It should be. It definitely feels stronger. Whether it's faster or not, I don't know. We'll just have to see what the timer says, you know. Okay, so clearly it's definitely not faster, and jury's out if it's stronger or not. I mean, it did feel stronger to me, but the last time I ran it was several days ago. Is it stronger? I don't know. One thing's for sure is it's not running the way that it should be running. So whenever I had ported that cylinder, there's footage on the channel. Just dig back, look at my Wemars stuff. Wemars 6220 ported. I have videos of that cylinder that you see in this video on my other Wemars, and it totally kicked the stocker's butt. So something is clearly going on that ain't right. That carburetor is not fueling the way that it should be. Or everybody that's used a 372 carburetor on one of these saws is full of shit. I mean, you know, hey, I've been there. You know, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. And, you know, you look at the time footage and it's like, oh, no, it's not. So, and another thing that has to be said, I mean, I hate to say it because it's kind of like I'm bragging or something, but I was definitely among the very first people to really start doing side-by-side comparisons of the stuff that they built. All right. There was a few people that was doing it, but definitely nobody did it as good as I do it. Sorry. Hey, you know, it just, you know, my side-by-side comparisons are good. I'm a good editor. you know? So I've got the professional software to do stuff like that. But it very much could be a reality that, if you're not doing proper testing, just because something's louder doesn't mean that it's faster. And so it very well could be that 372 carburetor is just too big. It's just too big, I don't have any other explanation than that, or the carburetor is just not. It's giving too much fuel. It's giving too much fuel, which leads me into the thought process of I just ran out of fuel just now, in that saw. And I've got some methanol. And I know that with methanol, you need to be able to supply more fuel than what your stock carburetors can normally fuel. And so maybe I'll just put some methanol in this bitch and send it. Because that high jet is all the way in, and that's where it's running best. But even its best is still not good enough. I cannot lean it out. And whenever you can't lean out a saw, well, that tells you things. That and it tells you that you're getting too much fuel. Okay? And if I'm getting too much gasoline, maybe I'd be just right for some methanol. I haven't tried that yet. I've got the fuel on hand to work with, and I just never have. And I've got the right what do I have? A bean oil. It's by Klotz, but it's bean oil, and it is specifically intended for running with methanol. And so maybe this would be a good thing to try out, and I just see how fast it is with methanol. I can't think of a reason not to do it. So look forward to that video in the future. It sounds like a good idea to me. And if it runs great like that, then I'll just keep that in that, fashion, set up like that. I guess. I don't know. I mean, the idea of running methanol in a saw, like, permanently is almost kind of silly to me, especially because this saw, I mean, it may be good, but it's not going to be a very good race saw. So anyways, yeah, I'm a little bit, I don't know what to think about why I couldn't tune it quite right. The only thing, I guess, I got two real thoughts, and that is the carburetor's either too big or the carburetor's not performing like it should. So, and it was a chore to get all that stuff to work right, but it does. It works right. It's good. But where to go from here, I'm not sure. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you later.